Hey Earth sign, so I'm gonna just be doing an Earth sign reading for the current energies, okay? So let's see what's going on with you guys, Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo, all right? So my reading's a little different today because I'm gonna just delve more in deep with each tarot card. So usually I go pretty fast, but I'm gonna pull 3 tarot cards for, the current energy. What's been coming up lately with the other signs is just kind of like a progression with the 3 cards. So almost like a past, present, and future, but that's not my intention. I'm just going to see where it goes. All right. So no reversals, and let's just get started. All right. So sun, moon, rising, Venus in your earth sign, or if you're cross watching, or in one of the houses that's earth heavy. Okay. Wow. Intense. Okay. Well, I do see Capricorn, Taurus, Virgo energy, but a masculine side. Could be you guys. It could be someone you're dealing with, another earth sign. It could also be like a business owner, or someone who you feel like is very much like in charge, stable-wise, who you sort of rely on, who you sort of look to for stability, okay? It could also be like a father figure. This person seems to have it all together. They're all established. I don't feel like they're very like warm or like loving, and I don't necessarily get that feeling with earth signs, but for some reason with this card I feel like they're a little bit arrogant and domineering, and like you feel like you can't quite measure up to them, okay? I've got 2 5s here. If I pulled another 5, I was gonna think that was really weird, but a lot of changes and a lot of conflict and a lot of inner turmoil going on with you guys, and maybe even seeing it in your outer world, okay? So this 5 of Swords specifically, there's like 2 people who feel in a lot of despair, and then one person who's kind of out on top. And the message that's initially coming to me is karma, because even if you're losing a battle, first off, you might not even be in a battle, but other people might see your interactions and the dynamic as a battle. Even if you're losing, things always change, okay? So you could be one of these people that's crying and in despair while this other person is seeming to have it all together and like winning this battle. But if someone is acting, because 5 of Swords is usually a very selfish energy, if someone is acting out of that, know that eventually the winds of karma will, give people what they put out, okay? So you're not going to be in this place forever. And I do feel like you guys feel sort of like you were relying on people around you, you were depending on them. You thought, I think like people sometimes attach to us and are around us that we think they are doing things because they care and they genuinely value the togetherness, but really they're out for themselves, okay? And I feel like you guys are learning this harsh winter lesson. It could have happened during the winter, but it's a very wintry, isolated, cold feeling that not everyone that was around you had actually not even just your best interest, but the relationship's best interest, and that like wanted togetherness. Because I feel like, 5 of Pentacles is all about being left out in the cold, but what's interesting is with this one, I feel like this could really be like a Virgo energy here too, because whenever I see that lantern, I think of the Hermit, okay? That's just my own interpretation. But usually the 5 of Pentacles, it's like 2, I feel like men outside of a church. But this is like a little girl or boy and like a mother type. So some of you guys might be really seeking solace in like a parental figure or someone that's going to protect you. And some of you guys might have that, some of you guys might not. But if you don't have that, know that this higher person is not, it doesn't necessarily have to be a person. It could be a higher power or something, the universe, or something that you're relying on to give you like protection from this cold winter. You're not alone, even if you feel like you're alone. You're being guided. You're being guided to the people that are right for you. The universe is eliminating the wrong people. You might have gone through a certain journey with people, but now that journey's come to an end. So, but I feel like also this King of Pentacles could be about you guys really realizing how to be very, very self-sufficient. I personally feel the Queen of Pentacles is all about self-sufficiency and self-care, but the King of Pentacles, he's like detached. In this deck specifically, I feel like he doesn't need anybody. He's just enjoying the things he built with his own life. He's got his animals around him and he's good to go. So I feel like that could be where you guys are heading, where you get to this point where you really realize, like, all these people were weighing you down from you getting success, okay? So all these people were kind of holding you back, even though you felt like they were supporting you, they were actually hindering you, all right? So that's a very clear message I'm getting, okay? Let's see what other energies I can get for Capricorn, Taurus, and Virgo currently. Going off the grid, unplugging, disappearing for a while. That might be what you guys need to do, processing energies. And the Sky Bridge, mediumship, intuition, and psychic experiences. Okay, so you guys might be having a lot of these lately. You might be really on a level that you can't even explain to other people, and it might feel very isolating, but you guys could really be evolving to this higher level, and your intuition could be really getting like harnessed here. You guys might be having dreams about things, and then you wake up and you're like, I want to tell people, but it's crazy. And it almost feels like premonitions, but trust that. And if you can't share it with anyone, write it down, but know that you're really being like spiritually supported here, okay? An adjustment period, settling of energies. You might just be going through a transitional period where other people would distract you right now. I'm getting this very isolated journey because of the Five of Pentacles and the Five of Swords, but it's okay. Just be where you're at right now, because you might need this space to process energies to get right in your head and your heart and your spiritual space, okay? And might need to go off the grid, might need to disconnect from social media, might need to just do something you've never done before. I feel like in the past, you might have always resorted to certain things that kept you stable, but I feel like right now is calling to ask you to rise to a different level here, okay? The numbers here are 55, 42, and 52, all right? So let's see what messages I can get. I'm going to pull from the Mystic Moon Oracle, and then I'm going to pull from the Elqui Oracle and get some clarification. And like with that Five of Pentacles, I feel like if, you know, you feel left out in the cold, and I saw that there was like a maternal or paternal, it could be paternal with the King of Pentacles, that could be where you go to get support. But if you don't feel like you have that, remember, like, you can be that for yourself, okay? Or you can learn to get to that point where your own experience with something is enough, and you don't need to have someone to protect you. But that's like obviously getting to a higher level, all right? All right, so let's see what we got here. Patience and she who enfolds, swath, embrace, self-care. That's what I was just saying. So learning how to give yourself that. And it might take time to get to that point. Rome wasn't built in a night, overnight, okay? So Rome wasn't built in a day. I don't know, I got that wrong. But embrace yourself. Be that person that gives yourself that own sense of, you know, self-care and self-love that you may be seeking from the outside. She who prepares, mirroring, formulate, strategize, devising, okay? So you guys might be in this space, and the person you're dealing with might be in this space too. So if you're in separation and maybe you felt abandoned, this person might be preparing to get to a point where they could contact you, okay? And they might be a mirroring effect. So mirroring is saying you guys are on a similar journey, okay? You both might be preparing for something in the future that you want to accomplish. You both might need that focus, all right? So if you are feeling abandoned, remember other people are on their own journey too, and they're trying to formulate and they figure out. Maybe you sent a message out and they're not responding, but they may be trying to figure out what they want to say, okay? She who hopes and then fear. Love, hope, relationships, okay? So I feel like notice where your fear is getting in the way of you having the things that you hope for, right? Notice there's a dark and a light, but every time you start to feel fear, try to come up with like a positive affirmation or something that makes you feel better and more hopeful about the situation, okay? All right. Last but not least, I'm going to pull from the Twin Flame Messages Volume 2 and see what this person that you're dealing with that maybe abandoned you, or the people that abandon you, would want to communicate to you right now, okay? It might also be something from your higher self, because I feel like this is a lot about self-sufficiency here. I need to go my own way for a while. That's that processing energies, all right? And maybe they're not even conscious that that's why they're not in your life, but maybe on a soul level, that's what their soul is asking you for, is like space. And that's also what you need to process your own energies, okay? It might be too late by the time I figure things out. So I feel like patience is the thing about time. They know that they're on like a time limit here. They can't just disappear forever if they want to reconnect with you, right? If they left you in the cold, they can't just leave you out there, because eventually their relationship is going to die and there's going to be nothing to return to. So I think they're aware of the time restriction that they're on. And I'm sorry I held myself back with you. They might realize that there's something in them that just won't let them be what you need to be. And they actually might be very remorseful here about this, okay? I'm just going to pull one more from this Oracle of Dragon Fae. Lady Lunar Magic, synchronized with lunar time and energy. There's a lot about time here. So it also might help you to do some full moon rituals. Like I used to go to this place that did like a full moon ritual where they gave you like each card, like each person like an oracle card, and we did all these rituals and stuff like that. So doing things around the full moon and the new moon might help you just really get in touch with yourself and that like self-loving, self-care, like embrace kind of energy that I was getting before, okay? So I do think the moon cycles are going to be really significant for you to practice that sense of self-love and give yourself that gentle love that you need after dealing with all this BS, okay? So thank you guys for tuning in. I'll see you guys next time. Bye.